Hello and welcome to the Top Bins Premier League preview show. Now, we had a cracker last week and we're going to update you on how those went, so stay tuned for some more predictions this week. What did we do, Dave?
We had a cracker.
I had a cracker. I should have put some money on them. I tell you what, there was 8 out of 10 results I picked and 2 spot on. So if you're betting off or you're making your picks at the bookies off what I'm predicting, you might be a rich man next week. So,
Mike's your man at the moment. 8 out of 10 correct, 2 exact score matches. I pulled through at a nice happy medium, 5 out of 10. No
50-50,
matches,
50-50.
But I'll take that. So let's have a look. We obviously we both picked City for wins.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't pick City for a win? The way they started the season off, the quality of players they got, it was just this was one of those ones you just can't really see. I mean, I'm not like shocked that they drew, because like if the way Wolves played. And we did mention that Wolves would be at it. We thought they'd score a goal. We thought they'd be up and at them. But they did a great job, Wolves. And they managed to cause a bit of an upset in terms of getting a draw. Hard to pick that one. So
that's right. We picked them 3-1 and 4-1. And that was not the case. Well, we got the ones right. So, that was all good.
Yeah.
And the next match was Arsenal. Another one that Mike's got right. He's picked it 4-2. I've picked Arsenal 2-0. Not the result exactly, but
we both got
win.
the difference of the win, right? We both said Arsenal win by a margin of 2 goals. They won by a margin of 2 goals. It was 3-1. We thought Arsenal would do well against the West Ham defence, who are pretty leaky. I thought West Ham would do well against an Arsenal defence, who are pretty leaky. And they could have and should have had more goals. They really should have, West Ham. They had chances and they just didn't bury them. But Aubameyang didn't bury the chances he had as well. So, I mean, this could have been a lot higher scoring than it actually was. But 3-1, I think we both saw that Arsenal were going to get the 3 points there, and West Ham are looking in big trouble. So
they stink of it, you could say. So next up was the first of your exact matches this week.
Yeah,
and
I'm happy with this one.
Everton Bournemouth 2-2. Now that's a solid pick. I picked Everton to come out with that 2-1. We had 2 red cards in the game, so I don't think you could really call them too much of a factor. It was just a great start by Everton and a fabulous comeback from Bournemouth.
That's right, and I saw lots of goals in this. Both teams are very good going forward, confident going forward. But they're also a little bit leaky at the back, and they've conceded a few goals this season already. So I saw the goals coming. And got lucky with a 2-2. So happy with that one.
So one of the few that Mike actually got wrong this week, he backed Huddersfield, and so did I. We both backed them 1-0. We thought they'd do the job against Cardiff, but wasn't to be.
I mean, this was always going to be one of those tight games, and lots of pressure because you're both expected to be relegated this season, and you're going to be down there in the mix of it, and it could have gone either way. Ultimately, the game was a shocker. It lacked quality. Both teams lacked a lot of quality, and both showed why they are both favourites for the drop this season.
Yeah, not a lot more to add to that. A shocking game.
Yeah.
The next game, maybe not quite the heights I expected it to be, but we both picked 2-1.
Yep.
I picked Southampton to beat Leicester 2-1, but it was Leicester beating Southampton 2-1, with Mike getting another exact pick.
That's right. So hopefully you got on that one. A 2-1 score on that game was. I mean, again, this one was definitely another one that could have gone either way. Both teams have decent players, decent squads. Vardy was missing. Maddison's on good form. It could have gone either way with Ings and Austin for Southampton as well. Bertrand scored a cracker. I don't blame Dave for picking 2-1. I just went for Leicester because I thought they had a bit more quality about them, and they ended up getting the result and coming through 2-1.
You picked a lot of things, but you wouldn't have picked Maguire scoring.
I would not have picked Slabhead scoring a 25-yarder from in the 90th minute from that far out. So yeah,
absolutely. So Liverpool at home next. We both thought they'd score big. 3-1 you picked it. 4-0 I picked it.
Yeah.
1-0 was the result.
That was clean sheets though, keeping clean sheets, and Dave's calling that. So well done to Liverpool defensively. Van Dijk's looking like he's worth every single penny of that 75 million they spent on him. Robertson's looking fantastic. Joe Gomez is looking comfortable. Alisson's making saves. You got to be happy as a Liverpool fan, Dave.
That shit.
Dangerous, mate, I tell you. Doesn't come off and he's getting ripped apart. But
absolutely. This is the sort of thing that Karius isn't playing for us anymore but you get that.
Watford Palace.
Well, another good one for you. You picked Watford to come through on that one 3-2.
Yep.
I picked the 2-2 draw.
Yeah, it was close as well. It weren't a game that Watford absolutely bossed, but they did play well. We talked about the quality players they got throughout their team, and they're confident. When you're confident and you're at home, and I talked about this last week, when you're at home and you're a team full of confidence and playing well, it's a really big factor to giving you the edge in a game before you go into that game. So that was the reason I picked Watford to win, and it came through. You could see how confident they were.
No, they look good, and one of only 4 unbeaten teams so far.
Yep.
So they'll be tested this week against Spurs.
Yep.
But we'll move on to the next game.
Yep.
Craven Cottage, Fulham. We both picked them to win it.
We did.
And neither of us got it exactly right.
Nah, 2-1 I went for, and Dave went for 1-0. Mitrovic getting the goals. I'm delighted for him. Got him in my fantasy team, so I'm absolutely buzzing. Played good football. Played very good football, and ultimately they deserve to win that game 4-2. They could have won it by a bigger margin. Seri scored a worldie. Mitrovic got a couple. Very good performance from Fulham.
Schürrle could have had 3.
Lovely goal as well.
He looked ready for it, and he took it when he did get one beautifully.
Yeah, he did.
Great game. Good to see Fulham do well. Don't see them going down. I think this is sort of a lot of what we'll see from them at home.
Agreed.
They'll beat teams comfortably.
Agreed, mate. Yeah. Chelsea.
Well, we both picked the Chelsea win.
We did.
Neither of us exactly.
We were just there and thereabouts, weren't we? You went 2-0, I went 3-1. So we almost got it right between a combination of us. But they were always going to win, but it was just the manner in which they won. It was a weird game. Newcastle just backs to the wall, no possession. Chelsea managed to find a way through, even when they got that, when Hasselu got that goal to equalise, they still managed to find a way back into it. So credit to Chelsea.
Taken header from Hasselu, though.
Yeah,
wasn't it? That was a great goal.
It was, and another team that are doing really well this season, Chelsea.
That's right. And another one of those 4, and the last of the 4 unbeaten teams. We're talking Spurs. We both picked them to win it at Old Trafford. We were both right, but neither of us exactly.
Yeah, Lucas Moura went and ruined my one. I went 2-0. Dave went 2-1. Moura played fantastically. That second goal was a joy to watch. He absolutely put Chris Smalling on toast, and then absolutely buried it past De Gea as well.
He did. And De Gea just doesn't look the guy he was last season. I've whipped him out of the fantasy team, and not too soon, I think. So, right, so let's look at what we've got for next week. We've got some good
cracking games. We've got, mate. I love it.
Well, we've got a bit of an international break after this as well, so we've got to enjoy this week because we get a couple of weeks off.
I hate the international break.
No, me too.
I hate it, mate.
Yeah. Don't expect us to be covering international break football.
We hate it. It ruins the flow of the season. It's pointless a lot of the time when it's friendlies. Rubbish. I hate it, and I want Premier League back. So let's enjoy this weekend before we get the international break.
I like it. Well, let's start off. Saturday, we've got Leicester hosting Liverpool.
What are you thinking, Dan? I'll let you go first on this one. Your beloved Liverpool. I've got an opinion, but I'll let you go first.
Oh, you've got an opinion.
I've got an opinion.
You've always got an opinion.
I've got an opinion.
I'm encouraged by what I'm seeing. You just mentioned it. At the back, we look really tight. I think Mane, Salah, and Firmino haven't hit the straps yet, but they've got to eventually. Salah's done enough last week to show that he's not lost his touch. He's just maybe not putting himself in the right places. I think it'll be tight. I think Slabhead and the boys will be up for it at the back. I just don't think Leicester will have as much going forward. Last week they did well and obviously got that freakish goal from said Slabhead. Yeah, I'm picking 2-0 Liverpool.
All right, yeah, I think it is actually going to be a close game, and I think the King Power gets up for it on these lunchtime kickoffs. And yes, no Vardy, but they still have decent quality throughout the team. I think Iheanacho's probably not the player to cause your defence a lot of problems. Maddison could. We know we're big fans of Maddison, so we know he could cause. Damari Gray's got pace, and he could cause problems as well. But I do see Liverpool winning this game. I see you winning it comfortably. I see you winning this 3-1. I think you will concede. I think Leicester have got enough firepower there that they could nick a goal, even from a set piece. Slabhead could get his massive head on the end of something. But I think that they're going to see Liverpool get a win and stay unbeaten this season.
Same margin though, 2 goals. I like it. All right, this is actually...
It's a tough one to call this one.
Well, for me, weirdly, it's one of the games of the week.
Yeah.
I don't know
very interesting,
what to make of this. We've got Brighton hosting Fulham.
Yeah, I think that... I talk about home form being very important, but I also talk about confidence and style of play being very important as well. And as much as it pains me each week to talk about the good style of play, the solid style of play that Fulham play, they are a good footballing team. They're a good footballing unit. They've got very good players. Kearney, Sessegnon, Anguissa, Sarri, Mitrovic. They've got very, very good players. Joe Bryan. And I like them this season. I think they're good for a top 8 finish. They could really kick on this season if they get some wins under their belt and get some confidence. And what you're seeing in Mitrovic is a striker who's got 3 goals in 2 games now, and he's going to be at it. He's going to be confident, and he's going to be bullying that defence.
Oh, they've got some swagger, and they'll have a bit of swagger from last week.
And because of that, I'm going for Fulham for the win on this one. So I think Fulham will nick it 2-0.
I'm going to agree. I don't like agreeing on our picks because it does make it less interesting. But when I was thinking about it earlier today, it just had. I just don't see Brighton doing enough.
No.
They didn't do enough last week. Admittedly, that was away. I just like the way that Fulham are playing. I like the shape they've got. Good understanding between their good players. Yeah, 2-0.
Yep, fair shout, Dave. To the bridge, Chelsea and Bournemouth. What we thinking about that one?
Bournemouth have been good.
Yeah.
But Chelsea have been better.
Yeah.
And at Stamford Bridge, yeah, I'm not convinced by David Luiz. To be honest, Kepa the keeper hasn't really done much to make me think he's worth the money they've paid for him so far.
Yeah.
It's still very early days.
Yeah.
I still see them coming out of this. But Callum Wilson's been scoring. King's been playing well. Fraser's been playing very well for them as well.
Yep.
Sure, wee little boy, isn't he? He's not a big lad.
He's not a big lad at all, but he gets about. He's got a turn of pace as well.
He does. He's almost in that power cue mould, really, isn't he? Because he's short, but he's stout,
Stocky,
and he's got a lot to him.
Yeah.
I see them pinching one, but I just Chelsea is scoring in threes, and I don't know how they're scoring goals at the moment because neither of their strikers are good for me, but I still pick them 3-1.
I'm going to go a little bit controversial on this one, Dave. I think Bournemouth have looked fantastic this season, and I think this is going to be one of those games where the team who aren't expected to do as well, the lesser team, for want of a better word, will do what Wolves did. Will have a go. Eddie Howe doesn't set his teams to go out and sit back. Defensively, they're not that good. They're like Nathan Ake and Smith at the back. They're not the best defence in the world. I think Eddie Howe knows that, and he plays on the front foot because of that. I think they'll press Chelsea. They'll get in their faces. Bournemouth got a result at Stamford Bridge last season as well. I think that they can get a result again. I don't know if they're going to be able to get a win, but I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Again, I think there's going to be goals. I think Chelsea are there to be scored against. We saw that again this weekend, just the fact that Newcastle offered nothing, and one of their only chances went in. And because of that, I think Bournemouth have got joy there, and I think Wilson and King will cause them problems. I think that there's a semi-upset on the cards there. I think 2-2.
The middle of the park will decide it, won't it?
It will,
If Jorginho's allowed to just play as many passes as he wants, I can't see Bournemouth getting into it. But I think, you got a good point. A good point. Crystal Palace, Southampton.
Yeah, this one is another one of those games where it's very, very difficult to call. Both have not been terrible, but both have shown bits of kind of vulnerability. And Palace with Benteke and him not scoring goals, and Southampton defensively have looked a bit wobbly. Again, I can see there being goals, and again, I can see the home advantage coming into play here. I can see Palace, and in particular Zaha, causing a lot of problems. I know it's an obvious shout, but Zaha and Townsend, their pace will cause problems. I can see Southampton getting a goal. I'm going to go 3-1 Palace on this one.
So I'm going to go 2-1 Palace, and pretty much for the same reasons. I just don't think that Palace are good enough to score 3. Yeah. And that's because they're basically playing with a giraffe who just stands there and does nothing.
Yeah, without a player up front, that's right. All right, Everton and Huddersfield, what have we got?
Everton 2-0. Don't know really if we want to talk much more about it.
I mean, I can see again like Richarlison's going to be missing, right? So they're going to be missing one of their key attacking links. But I also see Walcott causing a lot of problems. I see Sigurdsson being one of the best players in this game, quality wise. Huddersfield don't look at the races, don't look have enough quality going forward to trouble Everton at the back. I can see a few goals in this, Dave. I'm going to go 4-0 Everton. Yeah, unfortunately for the Huddersfield fans, sorry for you lads out there, but I feel for you. But Everton 4-0.
Yeah, that's right. Speaking of teams that are conceding goals, West Ham will be hosting Wolves.
You know where I'm going with this one, Dave. I see Wolves as being one of the surprise packages this season. West Ham absolutely stink of it. Wait for the t-shirts; they're coming out soon. West Ham look horrendous at the back. I don't care what combination of any of the defenders that you pick out of their squad, you will not find a back four that can keep a clean sheet there. And they are going to lose this weekend to Wolves. Wolves look good going forward. Jimenez, all right, he's been unlucky to this point and he hasn't quite found that the goal scoring form he wants, but he looks dangerous. He's getting in the right positions. Neves, Moutinho look dangerous. They have got Helder Costa on the left hand side. Lots of pace, lots of energy. I can only see, and this is again, it's going against the book because I like to call teams when they're playing at home with the win, but I can see West Ham struggling big time here, and I think Wolves are going to win this 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going to be a little harsher on West Ham. I tried to be nice to them after the first week. I really did. I was so wrong.
Yeah,
they've been awful.
Yeah,
I'm picking Wolves 3-0.
Yeah.
I think Wolves will take a lot from the draw at home with City, and somebody's going to go out there and get torn one. It just happens to be West Ham.
How long do you think Pellegrini's got after if they lose this? How long has he got?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think you've got to back him to a certain extent because he's inherited... Yeah, okay, they bought a lot of players, but he's inherited a pretty shabby squad.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the most under-pressure manager, which is crazy because they've been awful.
Yeah.
But I really don't think he should be the most under-pressure manager. That said, 6 more weeks of these kind of results... and you're forcing the owners into a move. I'm
calling it now, Dave. We're calling predictions, but I'm calling this as a prediction. Within a month, I think Manuel's going to be the first one to get the boot in the Premier League.
What are we? Oh, I like it. So end of September,
end of September, he'll be gone, mate. And West Ham are going to struggle. They're one of my picks for the drop this season. Late kick-off on a Saturday. City and Newcastle's only going to go one way, this, isn't it?
Well, Newcastle...
We know what Newcastle are going to do.
They showed the
If they're going to play like that against Chelsea at home, what are they going to do against City? Probably going to play 11 men beyond the ball and just try and defend it out.
They won't get beaten like Huddersfield did, but they'll get beaten, and it'll probably... I think they'll get beaten. The scoreline will be big, but it'll still flatter Newcastle.
Yeah.
I'm picking 4-0.
Yeah,
I'm
close.
10-0.
Yeah, I'm close. I'm going to go 3-0. I think that this could be... It has a potential that if Newcastle concede early, this could be a cricket score. Like, it could be really, really big trouble for Newcastle. Especially if Lascelles isn't playing, especially if Shelvey isn't playing. They're going to really struggle without their two best players there. I can only see a City win, so 3-0 City.
Nice. Cardiff hosting Arsenal.
Yeah, what do you reckon?
Seems silly to back Cardiff in any way, but Arsenal's finishing has just been poor, and Aubameyang is getting one last chance for me. This is it. If you can't score, and Etheridge has been good, but the defence has been poor.
That's right.
And if you can't score against Cardiff, like, not only you're out of my fantasy team, but you should be out of the team full stop.
I think that he actually might get benched this week. I think that he might start with Lacazette. And for that reason, I'm probably going to drop him from fantasy this week. But I can still see Arsenal winning this game. Again, I don't see... The thing with Arsenal is that teams who have joy against them are teams who have got weapons and of attacking players going forward and being able to put them under pressure. When I look at Cardiff, they don't have that, and I think that they will struggle to score again this week, even against a team who don't look good at the back. And I think that Arsenal have got enough going forward that they'll be able to pick Cardiff off. I do think it's going to be close, and I'm going to go with 1-0 Arsenal.
I'll go 2-0. For all the same reasons. And when we said at the end of the first week, where are Cardiff going to get their goals from?
Yeah.
We still don't know. Arsenal, they've got to break the shackles at some point. There's no better opportunity than against Cardiff.
Yep.
2-0 may not be really breaking the shackles, but keeping a clean sheet away,
Again, another
scoring
3 points.
2, I think they're good for it.
All right. Burnley United.
Well, the strugglers, no.
Which ones?
Yeah, well, that's right.
Yeah.
Burnley for sure are, and I'm very worried about them. And it's the home form that made them a force last year. But Manchester United are fresh off a poor performance at the Amex, a worse performance at home.
Yeah.
Surely Burnley's got to be the brunt of this. Somebody's got to pay.
I mean, you got to think at some point that Sanchez, Pogba, Lukaku are going to click into gear and do something. And I think the way that Burnley will set up will be to frustrate United. And I think that you know what? I think that this could be another Brighton against United kind of result. I don't think Burnley have got as much going forward, and because of that, I'm going to go for a draw in this one. But yeah, I think United have got the all on paper. They've got all the quality to be able to do it. But I can only see what I've seen so far of United, and that's poor defensively, slow on breaking with the ball, not quite having the quality to finish teams off. I'm going to go 1-1.
I agree. I was going to pick 1-1. I think Burnley will pinch one.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be... It could be against the run of play. I think United will dictate a lot of the game, but I think Burnley will do all the things they did well last season at home. They'll sit back, they'll be compact, they'll do the basics well, they'll keep them out. I don't think United's attack is firing enough to get past that, but I also don't think that their defence is good enough at the moment to stop that one opportunity that Burnley's going to find themselves with, so I agree with you, 1-1.
Nice. All right. One of the best fixtures, I think, on the fixture list, this last one.
Two unbeaten teams.
Two teams playing good football. Vicarage Road, Watford and Spurs. I got a feeling this is going to be a cracker. I got a feeling there's going to be lots of goals in this. I can see Spurs getting some joy. Teams, albeit Watford have done well, teams have scored against them this season. Kabasele does look good and Foster looks good, but they will concede chances. And I think Kane, Eriksson, those boys will get chances and they'll probably take them. Moura's going to be full of confidence. I think they'll take them. I think this is going to be a close game but a higher scoring game. I'm going to go 3-2 Spurs. I'm
going 2-1 Spurs. And yeah, I think Watford will be in this game for long periods. I don't think this will be decided early.
No.
It could be a case that Spurs take one, Watford get one back, and Spurs finish it off. I just feel like Spurs... I mean, they were good in that second half. They really were. And I'm
clinical, they were.
Yeah, and I'm not sure whether the first half where they took time to warm was tactical or just taking time to warm up away from home.
Yeah.
But we saw Eriksson now starting to play well. As you mentioned, Moura's playing well. We said back in game week 1, don't let a guy like Harry Kane get in a role this early in a season because he will score goals. And again, he's up for it. They look the package. They're making light of all of the no transfer talk right now. I will say they get an injury. That's going to really push that.
Big trouble.
But for now, with a fit team, 2-1 to Spurs.
All right. So let us know what you think and whether you disagree or agree with us, or if you want to go down the bookies and put a few bets on some of my predictions this week. Let us know in the comments. If you've liked this video and some of our other videos, don't be shy to give us a like and hit subscribe. Share this video with your friends and get involved in some of the banter on our Facebook over at facebook.com/TopBinsFantasy. But for now, check out our fantasy edition this week and also our review of last weekend's games. And for now, thank you very much for joining us.